Hello everyone and welcome back to the Integrity Botanicals YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be sitting down and discussing, sharing, swatching the ELATE Cosmetics Pressed Powder eyeshadows. If you did not know, ELATE is a newer cosmetic launch on the website, all vegan. These eyeshadows are gluten-free as well. 8 beautiful shades, and there are so many products on the website, most of which that I have actually gotten around to swatching. So I'll make sure I include some more ELATE related videos down below. I have done a tutorial with the shadows, but I wanted to sit down and discuss them because I love the neutral shades and they really are just so easy. Like, I just kind of slap them on, they blend beautifully, and because of that I do end up reaching for them. It's a really good kind of one and done look. Not only that, they're also a really great price point. So the little caveat with the ELATE products is that their pressed shadows are sold individually. So they retail for $14. When you see these, you will see that they look a little bit smaller. You're like, that seems like quite a bit less than other shadows. But actually, just for comparison's sake, these are the Sappho shadows. These are 1.8 grams and retail for $21. The ELATE are 1.35 and they retail for $14. So just a little perspective for you there. There is still definitely a good amount of product in these. They're just a different sort of packaging size, so I wanted to put that out there. As I've already stated, there are 8 different shades, and the little caveat that I was mentioning was that you can buy these little refillable palettes. So this one here is their Essential palette. It is all made from bamboo. It's got a magnetic closure. It retails for $21. All 8 of the ELATE shadows fit into this guy. You can put 4 shadows in a blush, whatever you want to do. We do also carry Z palettes, and ELATE does also carry other magnetic palettes that are a bit larger in size. So if you already have some ELATE products, you could add this to the mix, or if you were just starting from scratch, you can get a palette and your refillable shadows or other products as well. So I'll have a little bit more information for that for you down below. But the one thing that I love about these shadows and natural shadows in general is that they can be used wet or dry. So I do think the initial pigmentation on these dry is already very good, but wet will give you an even more saturated color. It'll up the vibrancy of this more metallic shade that we'll get to here shortly, but really, they're super wearable. Even when I look at them all together, it just looks like a really good seamless collection. There's not a ton of very dark colors, so I think this is great for someone who likes a very easy, wearable daytime look. And again, they're fuss-free. They blend beautifully. It is what I'm wearing. Let me flip this up on my eyes here today, exclusively ELATE. So let's just jump right into it. The first of which is a really great classic matte shade. This is the shade Union, and Union is a beautiful matte beige. I like that this shadow is not super rich in pigment because this is sort of like the eraser tool. I like to use something like this on the brows. It's great as an initial shadow all over the eyelids as well. It matches my skin tone specifically, but on a darker skin tone, if you wanted to use it as a bit of a highlight, you definitely could do that too, especially if you were looking for a matte option because it's that very bone, almost fleshy type of color. Then we've got the shade Soar. Soar is one of my favorites. This is another great kind of first step. This reminds me a lot of a shadow from Kjaer Weis that I cannot remember the name of, but this really has nice pigment. This is great, again, if you have a light complexion to just neutralize the entire eye area. This is one that I just throw it all over my eyes first thing. And again, this might even be a better matte highlight shade if you have a deeper complexion, just because it's a little bit warmer and maybe it would look a little bit less ashy on a deeper skin. But it does have this like almost peachy tone to it, but on the skin it's very, very, very subtle. Then we've got the shade Ethereal. Ethereal is going to be the sparkly option here, and it really is just this true sparkly gold. It's more of a metallic finish. It does not have actual chunks of glitter or anything like that, so it looks good on everybody. I've got the lightest amount that I took over my finger on the lid, just a little bit for dimension. I really, really love this one. Definitely one of my favorites, and this is the best one to use both wet and dry because it'll really give you a lot of shine when you apply that baby wet. Then we've got the shade Sweet. Sweet is a beautiful mauve-y pink. So I know a lot of people like to use something like this all over the lid. It's neutral, but it's got a little bit of color to it, so it's a little bit more fun. It looks really pretty with that gold shade as well. I love purple and gold together, but this is very, very subtle. So this is gonna start off a crease or just be a really nice light wash all over the lid. Moving into a little bit of the deeper colors, the next two are my very favorite. The first of which is Earthen. And Earthen is just a great, really true gray toned taupe. You can't go wrong with this. This is one you could use in your brows if you are a very, very light blonde. This is one that's gonna be the perfect sort of like eye contour. So if you were looking to build a little bit of shape in the crease, this shade is not too rich, which I like about it as well because it makes for a good transitional shade, but it definitely shows up on the eyelid. I have to say, I do think that these apply best with a brush as opposed to the finger. So please bear that in mind when you are looking at the swatches and everything like that. Kicking it up one little notch here, we've got the shade Beloved. Beloved is one of my very favorites. This is kind of the one I've washed all over my eyes, kind of quick and easy. And this one's a little bit more of a Swiss chocolate color. I think that's kind of the perfect way to describe it because it really is quite a neutral brown, but it's almost got like a little bit of purple to it, and that's what gives it that Swiss chocolatey type of color. This is one that you could definitely build in the outer corner of the eyes to get a little bit of that dimension if that's something you're looking for as well. Then we've got the shade Maude-ish, and I love this one. It's a really pretty, slightly metallicized, not very much so purple, but this purple is almost like a little bit more red toned, which I love. I love this type of shade for fall. Again, it looks really good with that pinky brown Sweet, and it looks really good with the shade I just mentioned above, Beloved. That's kind of a 3 and done sort of eye look that I absolutely love. I've used this as a liner a million times. I really like this sort of color for that. And finally, we've got the shade Rise. Rise has also got a little bit of shimmer to it as well. It's what I've done this very, I don't even want to call it a wing. It's a wing though. It's very faint. I almost want it to be like a little shadow and then a little bit heavier underneath my eyes. And this is just a really beautiful true brown, a little bit more cool toned. This will give you a little bit of dimension as well. It's got a slight shift, but it's not overly intense. If you have more mature eyes, I don't think this is something that you would avoid either. In fact, I think it looks nice to get a little bit of color and dimension on the eye. So for that one, I absolutely love it. So that is the 8th shade. That is the final one. These are the ELATE Cosmetics pressed powder eyeshadows. As always, I do like to include a swatch photo for you down below. That way you can take a peek at the colors, see which one is best for you. The number one thing I love about these is their wet and dry function, as well as just how blendable they are. They're really user-friendly and easy to use, and while I know we love a really pigmented shadow, it's almost like, yes, this baby's worth the money. They can also be really intimidating because if you make a mistake, it's that much more difficult to improve. So this is a good slow burn, like you could build it up. You could definitely achieve a smoky look with these colors, but you can also definitely achieve an easy everyday sort of situation as well, which I absolutely love. So I'm gonna include all these products down below. Swatch photo will be there. Any other corresponding ELATE reviews I will also make sure to include. So if you love ELATE and you found this video helpful, if you could please give it a big thumbs up, subscribe. I do upload new videos here every single week and I don't want you guys to miss them. As always, I wanna know what you guys like to see next. What do you want to see swatched first? Is there any new brands on the website or just products that I haven't spoken enough about that you are dying to know more? Let me know. I kind of work for you guys, you know what I mean? So definitely make sure to give me a comment down below. And also, while you're down there, make sure to check out all of our social media. We are everywhere. It is November. We're kind of known for our Black Friday gift with purchase, just saying. So you're gonna wanna stick around so that you don't miss that as well. So thank you all so much for watching. Thank you so much for all of the consistent love and support, and I will catch you guys in my next one. Bye.